got to travel from positive to negative,
Right.
like that. But on AC, of course, it's going back and forth all the time.
Right.
So things don't have to travel from here to here. They just going back and forth like that. So I mean, for transmission of power, it's infinitely better. But when he came out with it and began promoting it, by that time, Thomas Edison had invested $10 into DC electricity, and he had actually had an entire street that was powered by electricity. I mean, this was the new thing, the street powered by electricity. But it took so much power to recharge the batteries, for the batteries to run off of this electricity that I mean, it was very, very impractical. And Nikola Tesla is trying to show, look, I can do that with nothing. And Thomas Edison that's when he started doing things like electrocuting elephants. He started by electrocuting chickens. When they were gonna execute the first criminal, that was part of it, was just to show how dangerous electricity is, what alternating current is. And Nikola Tesla is getting his picture taken inside his laboratory. He's reading the newspaper, and there's lights or bolts flashing all around it that he's generating.
Yeah.
But he's saying, if you know what you're doing, AC electricity is completely safe.
Oh.
So he's trying to show everybody AC is safe. Well, AC won out because it is so much more practical. Because there's virtually no losses getting the power from the generator to your house.
Yeah.
I mean, it's, there's no losses. The power that comes from there is out there.
That's North View Assembly of God, random versus the preacher out there. Craig, I used to skateboard with his son. That's when I told you, I kept saying, I believe in evolution, not in Jesus, whatever. I was just joking about that, and I said that to him, but I felt bad because, this kid had told me about evolution in high school, Jeff Hershey, and I was like, well, I started copying people, so I said, he said, do you believe in Jesus Christ? I said, no, I believe in evolution. And I was just kidding. I really didn't in my heart. But I told him that, and I'm sure he got kind of sensitive, but I was like, but I was so curious about Jesus, and obviously I didn't believe in evolution by my zeal for wanting to know how to get saved then, too, back when I was younger. So the old Zach was still thinking about it. I said, how do you get saved, man? I was thinking, I love Jesus, and stuff, but, and then he said, you'll know when it's your time. And then I told him, we went to church, and that guy was praying in tongues, that Jim Hoppy. He met Hoppy. We went to his house. The older guy that was out there in Timberline, he was the one that was praying in tongues when I went in there. I never met him before then. He was praying in tongues over, everybody. I was like, man, Craig, what's he doing? He said, he's speaking in tongues. I'm like, what's that? He said, that's a divine communication, communication only you and God understand. I was like, if you talk to that, I was like, man, that sounds awesome. I was like, that whole communication with God like that language was like, I was like, man, I'd love to do that, I was like, that sounds great. And then, and then I was like, I started asking all the youth group kids, I was like, y'all, can you guys pray in tongues too? Can you do that? They're like, yeah, man. I was like, are you serious? And I was in high school with them all, so I didn't see them like that, spiritually and stuff, but I was like, no kidding, man. I was like, John Hicks, you can do it too? I was like, no way. They're like, yeah, man, you can do it too, man. All you got to do is just pray. And I was like, well, I was so interested to do it, but I felt like I held back. I wanted to go get saved and everything right there, but yeah, I know. He's not Pentecostal. He's actually the Assembly of God, I think. I'm not sure what they do.
Pentecostal is not just a denomination; it's also kind of like Baptists. Baptists are not a denomination.
Yeah.
We just have Baptist theology. Theology.
Oh.
So, Pentecostal, there are people that belong to denominational Pentecostal churches and non-denominational Pentecostal churches. The Pentecostal just generally talks about the doctors. They believe what we call hospital mistakes.
Yeah.
So, it's misunderstood. And I got to pull over.
Yeah, because I need a drink so bad. I was about to, like, die of thirst, but, you know, what I was saying, though, Mike, was about the, you were talking about that electric current, right? We were involved in that before we got in the conversation about Northview. I wanted to have you.
Oh, Tesla was just
Tesla, yeah.
They call it Tesla. He won the I don't know what to call it, the philosophical, the business battle. Everything is.
Yeah.
Everything is. However, Edison was backed financially also by George Westinghouse.
Who's Westinghouse?
George Westinghouse, GE.
Yeah.
And George Westinghouse, he was an entrepreneur, he's a very wealthy man.
Uh-huh.
He also was the man who owned the